I needed to ask you a question. For one, let me tell you a story. About a year ago, me and my roommate John were driving home from Dallas, Texas, and it was a huge thunderstorm the whole 5 hours we were on the road. It was pouring down rain harder than I've ever seen it before. It was like a hurricane. I mean, we had our windshield wipers going, but the rain just stayed on the windshield and you couldn't see. We were driving like 25 miles an hour on the freeway. You couldn't see, 30 feet outside because it was just so rainy. It was just raining so incredibly hard. So, what started out as a 5-hour trip ended up being like 9 hours on the road. It was terrible. However, it spawned one of the most intriguing questions I've ever come across. We were sitting there in the rain, and I got to thinking, what is a greater number? The amount of raindrops that have hit the earth in the last 100 years, or the number of grains of sand that are on earth? So let me clarify. Which number is higher? The amount of grains of sand or the amount of raindrops that have hit the earth in the past 100 years? Okay? So we talked about it for a few hours and couldn't decide, because you get to thinking, oh, but think about the beaches and the deserts and the things. But then you get to thinking, what about the Amazon rainforest and Seattle? It's just, we couldn't comprehend, we couldn't even begin to think of which way to go with this. We were like, oh, it's got to be grains of sand, then 20 minutes later we'd be like, oh, it's got to be raindrops. 100 years of raindrops, or how many grains of sand are currently on Earth? What do you think? Raindrops or grains of sand?